Hey friends, happy countdown to Christmas season. We originally recorded these reviews of the Mistletoe Murders Season 1 episodes over the summer, and we are re-airing them in honor of their debut on the Hallmark Channel as part of the Countdown to Christmas lineup. We will, of course, be reviewing the new episodes in Season 2 when those drop as well. Enjoy the reviews.
This is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater.
Summer school continues here on Girls Gone Hallmark with our review of Mistletoe Murders, episodes 3 and 4, The Peril of the Bells. And while you're listening, please hop on over to Instagram and type in Girls Gone Hallmark, no spaces, and give us a follow. We'd love to have you as a friend over there.
We also have a great Facebook group for Girls Gone Hallmark listeners. If you want to join us, we're talking a lot about all the stuff coming out for Countdown to Christmas right now. So come give us a join. Girls Gone Hallmark on Facebook.
Now's the time to join because the information is going to be fast and furious in the next couple of months.
Oh man, sometimes I can't keep up.
I know. Sometimes they scoop us in there. I love it. I know. If you need a little more Megan and Wendy in your life, hop on over to our Patreon, which is patreon.com/Megan and Wendy. We drop 4 episodes a month over there. A little more lifestyle, a little more behind the scenes, some pop culture talk, some life lately talk. And you get a completely free week to start off if you want to check it out and see what's going on over there.
Hey, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Remember last week when we reviewed Mistletoe Murders and I was like, I want to make an edit.
Oh, yeah.
So I made one. I didn't technically make it. I paid my teenage daughter's friend to make it.
I love
who
it.
Knows
how to do
their
that
way around how to make an edit. And I got to say, it came out really well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited because if you want to see it, it is on our Instagram in the Reels. It currently has 20.2 thousand views.
That's wild.
Isn't it? And the Sarah Drew also shared it, which made me super excited.
Yeah, she did. She knows she's a baddie.
Yeah, that was the edit came out perfect. It was exactly how it was feeling after watching episodes 1 and 2. So
she fully delivered on your vision.
She did.
Yeah, it was great. That was fun.
I'm very excited about it. But let's talk episodes 3 and 4. Are you ready for a synopsis?
Hit me.
After a string of suspicious accidents, Emily goes undercover in the local choir to investigate. Sam, however, remains skeptical. Violet takes on more responsibility at the shop. When the choir attacks escalate, Emily and Sam grow closer as they work together to find the culprit. Emily helps Violet out of a precarious situation by tapping into her dark past.
Interesting. We have some new news and notes for this episode. We're not going to run back everything from the previous episode, but we do have a new director for episodes 3 and 4. Sherry White directed these episodes. Sherry is a writer, a director, and a producer, having written and produced other crime shows like Murder in a Small Town and Law and Order Toronto, Criminal Intent.
Michelle Ricci wrote episodes 3 and 4. She's written for quite a few mystery series, both on Hallmark and elsewhere, with projects like Curious Caterer, Frankie Drake Mysteries, Murdoch Mysteries, and Private Eyes.
Heyo, reincarnated Brandon Walsh.
Yep.
Joining the cast for episodes 3 and 4, we have Raven Dowda as Debbie Brannigan. Raven also voiced a character in 3 episodes of the Mistletoe Murders podcast series among her 108 acting credits. Her credits also include shows like 5 Days at Memorial, Spellbound, and Hudson and Rex.
David Delancey Wilson plays... His name is David Delancey Wilson, and he plays Lance.
Indeed.
Wow. David was in 2023's Catch Me If You Claws, as well as Hudson and Rex and Murdoch Mysteries.
Additional cast members in these episodes include Arlene Duncan as Vera and Jamie Spilchuk as Adam Jameson. We're going to take a very quick break and come right back with our first impressions of Peril of the Bells. Before we get into our first impressions, a reminder to the listeners that we made the decision to combine our reviews. So we did episodes 1 and 2 together, episodes 3 and 4, and then we will be doing episodes 5 and 6 because that's how the stories are told.
Yeah, I feel like the listeners failed us. They should have told us that before.
Right?
Before we made our schedule. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. I like that we're doing it this way. It makes it easier on our end.
I agree. And I like the show is developed this way. I think it makes a ton of sense. What is your first impression of Peril of the Bells?
My first impression is I don't know what's more dangerous, the dark web or the choir room.
My first impression is this choir cursed or just catty?
Oh my goodness. Real Housewives of Fletcher Grove. Fletcher's Grove. Is that what it's called, their town? Fletcher's Grove?
It is indeed.
These women don't have enough things to do in their lives. It's pretty funny.
Let's talk what we liked.
For me, the number one thing that I loved about these 2 episodes was Sarah Drew's monologue at the end of episode 2 when she reveals to Sam about her parents' death. It like hits all the right emotional beats when she says, Christmas was the last happy time in my life. It was just a gut punch in the best way possible. And it's starting to tie together some of Emily's backstory, which gives into understanding why she is who she is. It was the perfectly placed emotional payoff at the end of this two parts episodes.
I have an potentially interesting take on that scene. I loved it too. I thought it was incredibly well done by Sarah Drew. I thought emotionally it hit. But the skeptic in me wondered, is she telling the truth? We don't actually know her backstory. We did see glimpses of her looking at the family photos. We know something is going on there. She did mention those being happy memories when she pulled them out of that briefcase.
Right.
But I almost wondered, either is she telling the truth or is she selectively telling the truth here?
That's a really interesting thought, and one I had not considered, because why would she give so much of herself up if she's so
private,
worried about exposing herself?
Yeah, because we don't know her past, and Sam is uniquely positioned to access that information should he choose to do so. And so I almost wondered if, she was so closed off, and he's like, something's going on here, but clearly you're not interested. And I really want to just take it at face value. But I was like, she freaked out. She realizes she's going to have to give him something, or he's going to be like Googling her in his little police machine.
Interesting.
And then he's going to be like, this person does not actually exist prior to 2024. So maybe if she gives him this information, he feels like he doesn't need to do that.
Question for you. You didn't listen to the podcast,
I did
you?
not.
Okay, because I was like, do you know?
No, I don't know anything.
Do you know something I don't know?
I don't know anything. I was actually considering, once this is over, listening to the podcast, because it's got a great cast. Colby Smulders is in it. I can't think of a single other name who's in it off the top of my head, but I remember thinking it had a good cast. So I may listen, but no, I don't know anything. That was just the impression I got. I was like, this is so lovely, but wait.
Yeah, my little hairs stood up on my neck when she cut her hand on the trunk. I was like, oh no, her DNA has been on there now. What if that comes back into play somehow, of whose DNA is this? Of course, then we see it play out that Vera also cut her hand. And I was like, okay, well, maybe that's what they're doing there. But I was like, what if that is the tell of who Emily actually is?
Look at you. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm watching too many mysteries this summer.
A like that I had, on a much lighter note, last episode, I got my wish. I was asking for more Brooke, and I predicted that she was going to be involved in an upcoming crime. And I was correct there. She delivered in exactly the way I wanted her to. This is exactly the person I wanted Brooke to be in this series. She has lines like 2 glasses of rosé.
Screw topper.
What the hell? Let's go, Cork. I also love when she finally gets that solo moment when Vera is taken away. She like celebrates a little bit. She's like, that isn't how I wanted to get it. I love it. Like she's great. I thought she was really fun. I was glad we got more of her.
I was suspicious of Brooke at first, and at the top of the 3rd episode, I was like, is she our bad guy? Is she our culprit? But then I was like, no, she wouldn't be standing underneath this potential, display that's going to fall on them. Like if she knew it was going to fall, she wouldn't be standing there. So she can't be our culprit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that she's not a bad guy. And I hope she doesn't end up being a bad guy. I just like her being this kind of vapid townsperson.
Exactly.
With some comic relief. Yeah. I'm into Brooke. I like Brooke. Something else I really liked, I want to talk about, we talked about it a little bit, but Sam and Emily's chemistry is finally, we watch these shows, we know that there's going to be a love interest. When we watched Mystery 101, it took them forever to get there, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were like, when is it going to happen? When's it going to happen? With Sam and Emily, like, I feel like they're in episodes 1 and 2, like they obviously have some chemistry. I think we see that a lot more in episodes 3 and 4. So it's not like, will they, won't they? But it's building at a natural progression that I'm enjoying as a viewer. I like that their flirtatious way isn't forced by any means. It as I'm watching it, I was like, oh, these are 2 people who are vibing, for a lack of better words, like they're into each other.
Totally.
And when they have like that almost kiss at the end, and they're just like face to face, their bodies are pressed up against each other, I'm super into it.
Yeah, the episode 3, early on, they have this real cute, like flirty banter. They're talking about hockey and the Bells, and they're just like, they're leaning into each other, and their vibe is so fun. And then we end on that sweeter, more romantic vibe. I love the progression. And they only have 6 episodes, so I am assuming we're not going to get everything all tied up in a neat little Sam and Emily bow at the end of episodes 5 and 6. But I do like that they're giving us enough to get into.
Yeah. When they have that conversation, when he makes that joke about spiting her parents, like he's like, they must have loved Halloween and this is why you leaned into Christmas or whatever, I thought was so funny.
Yep.
Such a great line, great writing there. Very good. Very, very good.
So some parts of this episode are like real campy and silly. Like,
oh my God. Yes.
The sleigh. Like when the sleigh straight up like crushes Debbie and she just watches it happening. I actually thought it was fun. I wasn't bothered by it, but they also, the closing scene with the message to Emily with her cryptic chimera search happening. I don't fully know what's going on there, but they nailed the creepy and I like the balance there. Like we're still Hallmarkified, but I'm buying it.
That's so funny you said the word Hallmarkified because it is in my wishes.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to talk about it there. But
all right.
I absolutely agree with you. Was that a like though for you? Like you are okay with the Hallmarkified of the more sinister storylines?
I like the balance because, I don't like scary.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like just scary enough to be interesting. I have some thoughts on the actual crime happening here in my wishes. Don't you worry. But the sleigh falling from the roof was funny enough for me to be into it.
Okay. No, I agree with you. I mean, it just so happens to get Debbie in the perfect, it doesn't actually hurt her.
Yes.
How her body fits just
how
perfectly
is that
underneath
even
it.
possible? How? Yes. Any more likes?
Just one small one. I enjoy watching Emily go like full spy mode. I like watching. It's exciting for me to see like this double life kind of unfold, and we're just getting like pieces of it. I said it in last episode too. Like, I think that's the most thrilling part of the series, learning who Emily is.
Yeah.
I don't think we got as much of it in episodes 3 and 4 as we did in 1 and 2, but it's enough to keep me interested going forward.
Yeah, I agree. One thing I think this show is doing well is we have dual storylines happening here. Even more than that. Like, we have whatever the mystery of the double episode happens to be, but we also have their everyday lives running in the background. And so that's Sam and Emily and the mystery of Emily's past. And we also have what I think is really nice, Violet and Emily's relationship. Violet has a mom. She's just not on screen. And Emily is kind of serving that maternal figure, particularly when she says to her, "You're allowed to make mistakes." When she's lost the key, and she turns it into a, just let me know next time, but don't make promises you can't keep. Like, I'll never let it happen again. You are a human. I really enjoy seeing where their relationship is going.
Yeah, don't you go, I wish I could have a mom response like that.
Yes.
Where you'd be like freaking out instead.
Yeah, but I also think that Emily is positioned to be able to have a response like that because she's not Violet's mother.
Of course.
So, right, like, don't you think you could give grace to someone who's more grace? This is terrible to say out loud. More grace to someone who's not your child than someone who is sometimes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because there's less at stake, right? So I think Emily's in a position to be able to do that better than Violet's mother would be.
I agree.
Let's talk wishes.
Okay. For me, speaking of Violet and the lost key, this is a subplot that didn't really go anywhere for me. I'm going to talk in a minute about Emily approaching that teenager or hiding in his car in a minute. I'm going to get there in a minute. But what is the point here? This is like a thread that has no payoff other than to show us that Emily has a dark past. But I thought it would lead to something more.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It doesn't serve any other purpose other than to maybe move Emily and Violet's relationship forward.
Mm-hmm.
I think Emily asks too much of Violet. Like, she leaves her alone in that store a lot.
I was wondering that too. And they even said at one point, Violet goes, "What happened to a couple errands? You've been gone for 3 hours." Yeah, you have a teenager running this store like all by herself seems a lot to ask.
It does seem. Now, when I was in high school, I did work in a clothing store, and I did close that store by myself, shut down the register, clean. Blows my mind that I was tasked with such a job. But even watching it, I think, girl needs a break. Like, what if she needs to go to the bathroom? I think we're putting too much on her.
Nobody's actually going like, she needs her 15-minute break here.
I mean, what's she supposed to do? She's got to pay. She's like, hold it until Emily comes back.
Yeah.
She can't leave the store unsupervised.
Yeah. My next wish is, and I feel like you might have some hot takes on this, it's back to the Hallmarkifying of things. So when Emily is hiding in this kid's car, which is actually a terrifying like thought to be like, if somebody is hiding in the back of your car, like, so I kind of liked that, but it was way too campy with her doing this like menacing voice to this kid to scare him. I was like, what's happening here? This has gone too far. Like, it wasn't believable to me.
I thought it was equal parts silly and over the top, and also way more than was warranted. Like, okay, the kid broke into the store, I get it, but this vigilante justice, like, I'm gonna scare him straight thing, I thought was maybe a little bit over the line. Like, he is still a child, and granted, a child who had committed a crime, I get it, but I was like, whoa, maybe pump the brakes a little bit here, Emily.
Yeah, I literally like laughed out loud and said, "What is happening?" when I was watching it.
When she's like, hey, you better never do anything like that again or I'll know.
Yeah, it was too cartoonish for me. When in the previous episodes in 1 and 2, I thought Emily came off as this like real baddie vigilante who you don't want to mess with, and this just felt like, this felt like somebody's mom trying to scare some kid, you know?
I think the voice is what ruined that scene for me, because the hiding in the backseat, scary. The way we don't see her coming, scary. The fact that she like gets him around the neck, scary. It's just the voice that like pushes it into the hokey side.
Yes. Do you think she was like, oh man, how am I going to pull this off? Like when she's doing this scene?
Yeah, I wish there was a way to give her one of those like voice changers.
Yeah. Why didn't they do that?
Well, I don't know how you do that live. Like they're still going to hear your voice.
Yeah, true. Tell me what you wish for.
I would like a clear timeline on what's happening here. It does seem like we're days away from Christmas, but also potentially weeks. Like, I know we're in the holiday season because in the last episode, they had Christmas karaoke and they had the
hot cocoa tasting situation.
And now we've got the Christmas tree lighting. We have all of this, but I don't have any idea when we are. Like, maybe it just seems like a lot of time passes in these episodes, but also not much time passes.
I know. I was like, are we like 6 weeks out from Christmas? What's happening?
But even then, it just seems like that whole last episode, June was in prison. They had to invest, the timeline is a little wonky for me. Mm-hmm. My big wish, however, Vera had no choice but to murder 2 people because the choir group might lose.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about the whole choir situation. Thank you for bringing it up. Yeah, that was kind of a weird motivation. It's similar to Mystery 101 where the guy kills because he doesn't want his girl to be hired for the job, for the dean's job or whatever. It's like a little bit unbelievable.
You're so invested in your choir that you had to kill someone who might go to another choir and make them better. Mm-hmm. The believability has been stretched to its very limits here.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it is, if you roll it back to like, is this the ultimate Hallmark crime? My holiday choir might lose, so therefore I have to murder the person who's going to be responsible for that. Okay. Yeah. But yeah. I think we're pushing it here. Do you have any more wishes?
Think so too. No, that's it.
All right, let's talk. Did you see that?
Okay, I don't have like any true did you see that? I have 2 thoughts on things and then one actually like did you see that, but it's not like a continuity issue. So are you ready for it?
I am.
Emily wears the brand Mother jeans and those jeans are $200 a piece. I'm like,
nice catch. How'd you wardrobe? You saw the label?
It has an M on the pocket and those have been on my radar for some time and I just can't, like $200 for a pair of jeans is bonkers to me. But I'm like, wardrobe must have had some money here. I mean, maybe she's wearing them in like, I noticed them in episodes 1 and 2 as well, and she could, obviously they might be repurposing them for the show. Like maybe they just have one pair of premium denim jeans for our actress to wear. But anyway, I noticed that.
All right.
The other thing, here's a question. So Emily has this store, right? And in the montages, we see a lot of her selling things like snow globes and ornaments and stuff like that. And I was like, who is going to a specialty Christmas shop to buy Christmas decor type items? Like, I kind of thought this might be a regular like retail space and then they wrap the gifts for Christmas giving. Do you know where I'm getting to?
Yeah, so I'm going to push back on that because we live in Orange County, land of the chain store. We do not have cute little small town Christmas shops just in our cruising radius.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't shop there because they don't exist. But there are places like out by my mother-in-law's house, there's a place that's like, it's not just Christmas. They sell whatever the holiday happens to be, but it's like a full store of like ornaments and decor, and that's all they sell. And it's little more unique than your big box store. So I think people in a small town where there's not a Target and a Home Goods and wherever else people are shopping for these things on every corner probably would shop in a place like this. I don't think it's sustainable 12 months of the year. When she says to Violet's friend, I'll let you know if we're hiring during the summer busy season.
Yeah. I was like, what? What busy season? That's weird.
I don't know that it's sustainable year round, but I do think people are like looking for like unique holiday finds.
Yeah, and it might just be a me thing. I just wouldn't go to a specialty store and buy a snow globe for somebody. First of all, I would never gift anybody a snow globe either, which is a me thing. And then ask them to wrap it. I don't know. It just seems weird. I'll go to a Christmas shop and like poke around and like, because I like browsing at things. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I'm so hung up on it. If I'm going to buy somebody a gift, it's not going to be holiday decor though.
No. Well, I think a lot of people gift ornaments during the holidays.
Yeah.
A lot of people like hostess gifts or... Yeah.
My last Did You See That is our character, Debbie. She leans in real hard to her singing. Right now, and you probably haven't seen it, but there is a TikTok of these girls and they are on stage and they're clearly like sisters, and there's two younger ones who are getting ready to sing and they're going to sing a Cranberry song, and the older one is like just being so extra, and it completely reminded me of Debbie. I'm going to share it with you. I may share it in our Facebook group too, just to be like, this gives off Debbie vibes, because Debbie was interesting to watch.
Yes.
It just made me laugh. That's all.
Yeah, I think I totally agree. Like her choices, which is how my theater daughter would say the choices that she made were very interesting. And I think, I think the whole point is to highlight like her role as a soloist wasn't earned. It was stolen because of her financial support. And she's obviously not the most talented person there. So, I mean, even Sarah Drew's singing was better than Debbie's.
Kind of surprised by Sarah Drew's singing.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I don't have, like you said, true Did You See That's. I just wanted to point out that, Emily tries to connect with Adam to get more information about him. And she's like, hey, I have some junk I need hauled away. And when he kind of calls her bluff, he's like, oh, I'll be in the area. I'll come pick it up. She gives him a box. A box of...
Yeah.
You couldn't have taken that out to the trash yourself? You needed a junk hauler to take that away?
Yeah, I need a junk hauler.
God, me too.
Come get all the junk at my house.
That's like, I mean, speaking of TikToks, you see those videos that are like, this is a Gen Xer's dream, and it's a dumpster pulling up to the curb. Just empty.
100%. It's my dream. I love doing that at least once a year.
Time to purge.
Yeah.
What did you rate this episode of Mistletoe Murders?
I gave this episode 4.5 stars.
Last week?
4.75.
Okay.
This one ticks down just a little bit because it got a little hokey.
Yeah. So I gave last episode 5 stars. I'm giving this one 4.25 stars.
Ooh, it really fell for you.
Now, let's be clear. I don't find 4.25 stars to be a bad rating, and nobody else should either. This is a classic middle of the trilogy episode.
I agree.
Moving things along, but there's no fireworks.
Yeah, that's why I want to listen to the podcast, because I'm like, is there any difference here? What does the story, did Hallmark get their hands on making it a little more Hallmark mystery?
Yeah.
With the exception of when she opens the trunk and Adam is dead in the trunk. I was like, oh.
When she's like, I'm at Adam's house and so is he. We're like, whoa. Nice. Nice.
Yep.
Hey, thanks for listening to this episode of Girls Gone Hallmark. If you enjoy this podcast, we would absolutely love your 5-star ratings and reviews. You can rate us in Spotify, but you can write a written review in Apple Podcasts, and we would love to see it. You just might hear your review read on a future episode. We'll be back next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product. Bye.